Here we are with another Facebook Live, November 15th, 2024. Let's do a sound check here. I can hear myself. Last time people said it wasn't loud, but seems okay on this end. So maybe got to check your own speakers or something. I don't know. Because if everybody says it's not working, then it's a different story. But anyway, we just got a national postal strike. How wonderful! How wonderful! So any open orders cannot go outside of Canada at this time until service resumes, because that's the only way we ship outside of the landmass known as Canada. The whole fiasco. There's a record number of food bank people using the food bank in Canada. Record number that we've never seen. And people who work for the government, of course, they're not making enough money because what? Because inflation. They eradicated the buying power of our mighty dollar, and it's happening all over the world, as we know. How they steal from we the people. They rob our buying power and enslave us all. So, what do we do? Well, we can't do anything as individuals except do the work within and be that change we want to see. That's all we can do. Come together as mankind race. As you know, I don't like to use the word human, because if you look up the meaning, it's not what we think it is. Humanitarian. The whole world is full of deception. And we need to be able to see through all that deception. And the only way I found is when I started my fasting lifestyle, everything opened up. You know, that was at 26 years old, but already in my late teens, I was starting to see things and questioning a lot of things. I just didn't have an understanding until I started fasting, and then things really started opening up for me. So those who cannot see, which is the majority of people, if we ask how do you know that, well, the lockdowns 5 years ago showed us exactly how most people can't see because of them following orders, diabolical orders, that have nothing to do with peace, balance, correct conduct. Hello, Lainey. Good morning. But as we say, let's stay focused. Keep chugging away. Keep marking the calendar in those fasting days. There are just many fasting apps out there. I still use the what's it, Sober app. It just counts your days. It's all you need. the less we rely on electronic forms, digital forms, and computers, the better. If we don't use the mind, we lose it. So got to keep exercising that mind. I remember I remember the days of the high-fat raw vegan. I was losing my memory at such a fast pace. It was unreal. And when we hear the propaganda of, fats are good for your brain, and I'm going, wow. My body's is much more in a sensitive state because of all the fasting I've done and so on and so forth. But it's just strange and funny how the lies on top of lies on top of lies we're continuously fed, and just people just swallow it all up. I did. We all did. We've been brought up with lies, and until we start questioning things and using divine common sense and logic, divine common sense and logic, not man-made common sense and logic, because there is no common sense and logic in this realm by man. Look at what we've done to the planet. We've completely destroyed so many parts of this planet and continue to destroy, instead of choosing divine peace, balance, correct conduct. Live in harmony with everything in nature instead of destroying it. And that's the same thing, that how we treat our physicality, our bodies. The way we treat the external is the way we treat our internal, because they're not separate. We come from, the earth, the sea, the air of this planet, this physicality. The elements of the earth and the air, which is the elements of the earth. The air is made up of elements. And the one they're going after is carbon, 666 element. We can't make this stuff up anymore. It's just, you just gotta laugh. Laugh and go within and pray to our good Lord that some divine intervention happens soon. In the meantime, continue with the daily 12-hour dries. Continue with the 24-hour dry weekly, the 3-day dry monthly, the 3 to 5 days for newbies, and 5 to 7 days for more advanced experienced fasters, dry fasters for the season change. Stay on those cycles. Choose clean, minimal eating when we choose to eat. The liquid days are for washing, to preparing us for the dry fast and coming out of the dry fast. That's what the liquid days are for. We could say the liquid days are fasting, but the only true fast is the dry fasting state. So it's interesting. Talked about Christ doing 40-day fast in the desert, and my belief is, even though there's nothing written, he did a dry fast, is my belief. could be mistaken, but I don't believe so. Nothing's written of if he drank, or if he didn't drink. But if we look at Moses, it is recorded when he went up in the mountains to speak to God. For the 40 days he was up there, he didn't drink or eat anything, 40 days. So for those who put science to it, it's not possible to do 40 days without drinking. We just flush that down the toilet, right? we flush it down the toilet. We've smashed those belief systems long time ago, right? 10 years ago, or 10 years ago, we flushed that belief system. Just like we flushed the belief system of drinking water, just like we flushed down the toilet the belief system of that we need minerals and vitamins and supplements, and just like we flushed down the toilet about the nutrition that we've been all lied about. It's all a big game. All the fats, amino acids that are essential. When we've showed in plasma science you can create fat with salt, water, the sea, the ocean, and air. How does the Mother Earth create all that oil that we've been pumping out of the earth for 100 years now? How does the earth create all that oil? It's no fossil fuel. It's not created by all the dying, all the death of animals from the past. That's absolutely nonsense and ridiculous. What happens if you bury a dead bird? It'll be completely gone. It'll be all used up and returned back to soil. Within a few months, however long it takes. Maybe less, maybe more. I don't know exactly, but it doesn't take long for our bodies to be processed in the death state back to where it came from. So the lies will continue, and people will continue to swallow up and believe in the lies. The whole supplement thing, I've been down that road. I've shared a story. I was doing a lot of supplements. Minerals. I was big on minerals because I was vitamins, and then I found minerals, and minerals, yeah, you get better results. What happens when you stop taking them? You go back to where you were. When you purge the physicality of all the obstructions that are causing all of your deficiencies, obstructions are causing the deficiencies. So everything we consume, as we say in this realm, are different levels of obstructions. So whatever we're consuming has a level of obstruction. Doesn't matter what it is. Fruit being the least obstructive, air being the least obstructive, right? And we go down from there, more and more and more obstructive. Fruit, etc., vegetables, and leafy greens, vegetables, and so on and so forth. We get more and more obstructive. Where fats, oils being the absolute top, fat right below that. Not much difference, but right below. And then we have most likely the high protein. Protein's obstructive. Wow. It's essential. We need protein. Yeah, protein's obstructive. And high proteins. There's a little bit of protein in everything. In all the food we eat, even proteins in fruit, right? So it's the amino acids is truly how the body builds itself, and that can be done through air and salt water, which is our bloodstream. The sea. So the body can create whatever it needs. If you look at anybody who's on any type of high-fat diet, you will see very, very oily skin, just oozing out of the skin. And if you shake their hand, it's oily. And if they're touching anything, any computer screens or phones, you'll see all their phones will be all full of oily fingerprints and just oozing out. How do I know? Well, I was doing that, so and I can clearly see people who are on these high-fat diets, how their skin is shiny and looks great. Yeah, looks great. Little be known that it's obstructing the functions of all the organs and glands and the physicality of every single cell, because it is highly obstructive. But people will swear by it because it's highly addictive, number one. So we need to justify ourselves to continue to eat it. It's highly stimulating. Number two, highly stimulating, highly addictive, highly stimulating. And highly obstructive, right? But who's listening? We gotta enjoy our lives. We need to enjoy our lives. So there we are. On the new path of purging. If we choose the path of continual purging, the art of subtraction, meaning that we're focusing on keeping ourselves in a state where the body has at least minimum equal to or more purging days than obstructing days. What are purging days and what are obstructing days? Obstructing days are days that we're eating. It doesn't matter what we eat. They're obstructing days, consuming. And then we have our days that we're fasting, which are purging days. When we're master fasting, even on the liquid days, those days are purging days. Even though we're taking in liquids, but the liquids we're taking in have absolute minimal obstructive qualities. They're actually helping us purge more than they're obstructing. So that's why I'll call them purging days, because those days are highly essential to prepare us for the dry days. The liquid days, the master fasting liquid days, are highly essential for supporting and preparing us for the dry days and coming out of the dry days. Essential. Everything that we do. The drinking, the teas, the tinctures, TNT, taking in the plasma pudding, taking in the minimum quantity of juice, the 2 liters, 2 quarts, right? 2 to 3 quarts, 2 to 3 liters. These are all essential things that we're doing. The dry skin brushing. We want to continuously dry skin our brush. It's the most wonderful thing. Wake up in the morning, you dry skin your brush. Yes, you dry skin, you dry brush your skin instead of backwards. The mind is faster than the mouth. um, and it helps get the lymph moving, and brush off all those dead skin cells, especially when we're dry fasting in our sleep. We're dry fasting. There's a lot going on in our sleep, a lot. If you haven't noticed, especially when you're in a fasting state, you look yourself in the mirror before you go to bed, and then you wake up and you see yourself. You'll be in a younger state. You can clearly see it day by day, and it's just a beautiful, remarkable feeling when you can actually see the difference from just a night's sleep. Because in our sleep state, our soul is busy wandering the limitless realms, and the physicality is in that beautiful dormant state, beautiful fasting state, where it has a capability of doing so much more work than our waking state, right? It can do limitless things in that state. And that's why we call this the mass fast, the glorified dry fast. And it's dry fasting is essential for any magical type of healing. Without dry fasting, I don't know. People can claim whatever they want. I've been down pretty much all the paths that everybody else talks about, that they make claims to, and I'll just leave it at that. I've done with all that stuff, and I trust in divine creator's design and the dry fasting state. That's where I'm at. Everybody can choose their paths, and everybody will choose their paths, because nobody else can choose it for them. Nobody else can choose anything for me. I choose my path. I've been on this fasting path for 35 years now, and what I've seen from people dabbling in, trying fasting, it's just excuses after excuses after excuses, and start pointing fingers at everybody in the moon about all their problems. So, one little fast they've done. And wow. Instead of going within and looking in the mirror and looking in that mirror of truth, and everything is, if it is to be, it's up to me. No external sources are going to change anything, for me, unless we get hit by an atomic bomb. That's out of our hands. But yeah, it's quite experienced this last 35 years, and the thousands of people that have we've encountered in this master fasting realm. Where are we going to go from here as a mankind race? That's the question that we keep asking, and keep praying that we all have a resolution for everybody on this planet in the divine peace, balance, correct conduct direction. With that said, if anybody's got any questions, now's a great time, or we can call it a day. I want to thank everybody for being part of the community and Mass Fast realm. We're almost at 10-year mark. In January will be 10 years. And we'll continue to be here as long as we feel it's necessary. Let's see what mankind chooses over the next several months. And we pray and let's meditate that it's in the direction of divine peace, balance, correct conduct. What kind of world is it going to be if we continue on the path that we're on? It's not somewhere I'd want to be around for too much longer. So, ciao, and let's continue sending plaf to all those in dire needs and all the evil psychopath war pig killers on this planet. Have a great day, afternoon, evening, wherever you are. Ciao.